Welcome back. Well, the bad blood continues over the Taylor Swift Ticketmaster chaos. A Senate antitrust committee planning to hold a hearing to examine the lack of competition in the ticketing market following Ticketmaster's crash from Taylor Swift's pre-sale. The Swift tour promoter saying, quote, they had no choice but to work with Ticketmaster in order for them to book a majority of the tour venues. Joining us right now is Tennessee Attorney General Jonathan Skrmetti. Jonathan, thanks very much for being here. What are you looking into specifically?
Thank you, Maria. So the first thing that we're looking into is what representations were made. There was a verified fan program that was supposed to limit the ability of scalpers to buy these tickets and was supposed to make it an easier process for people who jumped through a lot of hoops up front. And we saw that that just didn't work. And the reason this is particularly concerning is Ticketmaster is under a consent decree. They have been in antitrust trouble for decades, and they continue to apparently underinvest in their infrastructure, which is a good indicator that there's not enough competition and there may be a need for government intervention.
So you've launched an investigation into Ticketmaster. Are you suggesting there's monopoly here?
There may be. We're going to give it a very hard look. There are a lot of indications of too much concentration in this industry.
James Freeman?
Yeah, AG, I'm wondering, isn't the root of the problem here that there's just too much demand at the prices that Taylor Swift wants to maintain for her audience? I mean, even if you didn't have any web snafus, you were still going to have a lot of disappointed customers, right?
Absolutely. There's no guarantee that everybody could get a ticket, and there shouldn't be, and that's not what we're saying. The concern is that Ticketmaster made a lot of representations about their capability and about the quality of the product that they were offering. And because there's very limited competition in this area, that they don't have the incentive to actually offer the quality. They don't have to improve. And we know that markets work, that when there is competition, consumers benefit. And if consumers are suffering, it may be a result of the market not working because of some sort of suspect consolidation.
Jonathan, you're also part of the historic multi-state Google settlement over the location tracking practices. I want to ask you about that. Yesterday, we spoke with Missouri Attorney General and Senator-elect Eric Schmidt on this topic, and here's what he said. Watch.
Google is a behemoth. They've got this ad tech piece where they control both sides of the equation. They have an enormous amount of information about Americans, and people's information, their privacy ought to be protected. I think people are very concerned about the reach of big tech.
Jonathan, what are you pursuing here?
So with the Google location tracking settlement, the problem was people were opting out of having their location tracked, and Google was still collecting information that let them track that location. And our position is no data at all should be collected without transparency, both about exactly what's being collected and about what it's going to be used for. And as Eric said, people are concerned. Big tech is scooping up unbelievable volumes of data, and we don't know exactly what they're using it for. We need transparency here, and to the extent that they're not being transparent, there has to be accountability.
Well, I don't understand. If there's a tool that Google has that offers a user the opportunity to say, I'm opting out, then why are they tracking us anyway?
That's a very good question. I mean, ultimately, the answer is that data helps them make more money. And there's nothing wrong with making money, but they have to be honest about it. People need to know. They need to feel confident that what they're allowing a company to collect when they're engaged in online activities is all that's being collected. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. We know this is not the last case.
So tell me about that, being the tip of the iceberg. In other words, I'm using Google and I'm shopping for sneakers, and then they know where I am. They're tracking my location, so they're sending a ton of sneaker ads to me?
Well, it's not just a matter of sneaker ads. They collect so much data that allows them to create a very detailed profile. And they also have data that allows them to analyze huge population level numbers that gives them all sorts of advantages over competitors that can cut off the opportunity for competing services to emerge. And so it's a combined problem of not letting the consumer know what's going on And by collecting data without being transparent about it, they're creating opportunities to further limit competition in this area.
Wow, this is just extraordinary. Should Google be broken up?
I mean, I don't want to say specifically what the outcome ought to be until we're done with all the investigations, or at least done with more of the investigations. But I don't think we should take that off the table.
Okay. AG, thanks very much. We'll be watching all of this. Jonathan Skrmetti joining us this morning.